Okay, here we are in a new script. So in this script, we are going to create a car park. So let me add a comment car park. So here we are going to track the variables in a car park, and I'm going to do it as I go. So there's no pre-plan here. So first things first, we need to have a variables for the total number of cars. So let's say we have a variable named total cars. Total cars. So at present it will be 0. So next we will have vacant slots, right, or slot count, or the maximum number of slots. So let's create a variable name total number of available slots. Total num of slots. So let's say it's basically around 50. So we have 50 slots and total number of cars equals 0 for the moment. And the logic is when a car comes, we need to increase the total car count, and also we have to keep a track of the remaining slots. So let's say we have another variable called total slots and remaining slots. So let's make another variable remaining. I might change these variables as I go along. So me means slots. So remaining slots, let's say for now it's equal to the total number of slots, right? So remaining slots is equal to 50 because we have 0 total cost. So now when a car enters, so suppose when a car enters, so for that we might have to write a method for to keep this thing simple. I will try to do this first demonstrations using variables only. So let's say uh, car in. So we will create a variable called car in. So let's say car in equal 1. So we have one car which is going to go for our car park. So what should happen is like total cars should be equal to the number of cars in. So we can say total car equal. Again, we have to keep a track of the present number of cars. So we have to recall this total car variable because we need to get the current number of cars, and we have to then add car in. So now what happens here is like we have total car which is equal to 0 and car in equal 1. So total car here is 0 because it is here mentioned globally to have a value 0. Next car in, we have one car in, so 0 plus 1 will be 1. So now let us run this and nothing will happen because we have not written any print statement or whatever to display. So print, let's say we want to find the total car. I will call the total car variable, and next I run it again, and you will notice that total cars is now 1. So once it is 1, then you also need to keep a track of the total remaining slots. So to do that, again you can use total number of slots, total let's say remaining slots equal, we have to get the current number of remaining slots. So remaining slots, current number of remaining slots minus how can we find the remaining slots, minus total car, right? So total car variable has the current number of cars in the park. So in this way we managed to find the total number of remaining slots. So you can modify this print statement. Let's say we add the number of vehicles and we put a dash, and in the let's say we comma separate this, so we now don't require this space. So now the number of vehicles is going to be total car. So let me run this and show you. So number of vehicles 1, and next you can again command separate and add the text. It will automatically add the space in between the variables. So here you can add remaining number of slots, remaining slots, again a dash, and let us call the remaining slots variable. Okay, and we are done. I think it's going to work, right? So number of vehicles equal 1, and remaining slots is 49. So basically, suppose another car enters. So here, let's say car in equal, let's say 2 cars enter, and let's print, let's copy and paste this thing because it's the same thing. So now first car entered, then next 2 cars enter, so it should be number of vehicles should be 3, and the total number of remaining slots should be 47. So let's try to run this. So okay, now it's not going to update this thing because we did not recall to calculate these 2 things. So because it's not the method that we are calling, so these 2 code lines should appear. So here, as soon as the car enters, the total car variable should be updated as well as the remaining slot should be updated. So now what? So it shows us 46. So total number of vehicles is 3, and the remaining slot is 46. So when one vehicle is there, remaining slots is 49. That's okay. And so we need to make some changes here because it's going to subtract. Okay, remaining slots. So remaining slots we can actually subtract not from remaining slots because if you want to subtract that, then you need to change this variable not from the total car itself, but from the car in, right? Otherwise it's going to give us an error because number of total cars and remaining slots is reduced here. So in that case you might want to change the logic here. So remaining slots equal remaining slots minus let's say car in, right? So it's basically car in. So here also you can change to car in. So that depends on your program, but you can also try to do total car minus total number of slots minus total car also possible. So let's try to run this. So here we get the answer correctly. Number of vehicles 3, remaining slots is 47. So let me show you the other way around this as well. So let's say we have a car in. So this time I'm going to change the logic, car in. Okay, let's say there are 4 cars, 10 cars coming in. So 10 cars in. So total cars, it's going to be the same statement, total car. We get the current car total and add the number of cars in. So okay, this is correct. And next, the remaining slots, we are going to do it differently this time. So remaining slots equal, well, the current amount of remaining slots. We can, if it is the current amount of remaining slots, then we need to subtract the current number of cars in. So but also we have another variable that contains the total number of cars. So you can also do total number of slots, not remaining slots, total number of slots. You can also do total number of slots minus the current car total. So total car. So you can subtract total car. So in that way also you can get there are different methods to do this, so you can come up with your own method as well. So anyway, the print statement is the same again. As you notice now, as soon as a car comes in, we are going to repeat a lot of code here. So in that case we might require to use methods. So okay, let's try to run this. Okay, now 10 cars came in, so the number of vehicles is going to be 13 in total, and the remaining slots is 37. Okay, it's working now. Okay, and you might want to print the number of cars in as well, so that it is a little clear, right? Okay, let's do that also. So let me add a print statement here. Print. Okay, let's print an arrow. Cars coming in. Maybe we use F formatting, and let's add some dashes to indicate that cars are coming in. Let's say car in variable we are going to call 5 or 1. Let's say car or cars in. Let's say in. Okay, 5 cars in. So this will only work for the first car. Anyway, we will try 1 car in, and you get the result. Okay, we will copy this statement, and next it will come below each car in. So here also we are going to get a car. Okay, let's try. Okay, 1 car in, number of vehicles 1, remaining slots 49. 2 cars in, number of vehicles 3, remaining slots 47. 10 cars in, number of vehicles 13, remaining slots 37. So in this way you can keep a count of the cars and the slots. So okay, and also like we are going to repeat a lot of code here. So what we can do is like we might try to first things first, like we have to take cars out also. So let us also do that. So if there are cars out, then we need to subtract the counts and make sure that the remaining slots are going accordingly. So okay, so suppose in the next case we will try to do car out. So car out. So car out variable, let's say 1 car went out. So 1 car went out, so we need to print a statement to show that cars are going out. So car in, instead of car in we will put car out, and we will change the direction of the arrow to make it more realistic, and also out. Okay, let's try to do this, but nothing will happen now. 1 car out, 10 cars in, 1 car out. Anyway, now we are going to modify. So here you can do something like this. Total car equal current number of cars, total car, right, plus car in. We will add this car in variable. So here it's going to give us an error if we add this, because now car in is 10, so we can't use this because it's going to recall the value from here. So it means that we'll subtract the car out variable, right? So we subtract the car out, and now we are going to get the total number of cars available. 1 car gets out. So anyway, car out and car in, it's very difficult to combine, so we have to check whether both are going to okay, we can also combine that if we can pass the variables separately, and we have to keep a track. For this demonstration, let's keep this simple. So we can write 2 functions maybe later. So we got the total number, and the remaining slots also should be updated. So remaining slots equal total number of slots. Okay, now total cars is changed, so we can basically use the same statement, because total car count has changed now. Okay, that's good. Anyway, we can copy the same print statement and paste it over here so that we get the details. Okay, let's try to run this. So okay, first one car came, two cars came, 10 cars came in, and 37. Okay, one car went out. The total number of vehicles now reduced from 13 to 12, and as well as the remaining number of slots increased to 38 because one car left. So in this way, basic functionality of a car park was written. Anyway, we would like to create two methods for this demonstration so that it becomes much more easy. So if and also let's say car in, yeah, okay, car in, let's say car in variable car in, but it will confuse. I think let's use a different name. So vehicle, car enter, car entered, or whatever it is. I don't. Okay, here we will write in, and so when a car enters, what you should do is you have to have this, right? Okay, let's copy this logic, no problem. Copy this logic and put it inside here. And next, car in this case we are going to accept through parameter, so it becomes n, right? So n. Okay, now let's try to run this. Anyway, now you know car entered, how many cars entered. So in this case, number of cars entered, you can basically, okay, so let's say one car, okay, let's say 10, no problem. So now presently vehicles to 12, but now another 10 are going to come. So let's try to run this. Oh, okay, now we have an error because now these two variables are globally declared, but they are not available inside this function. So before using any globally declared variables inside our function definition, we need to make sure that they are accessible inside the function. So we can use global. So car in, of course, no problem because it's going to be equal to n, and it's not going to have any effect. So but total car, remaining slots, and total number of slots are going to have an effect. So we need to make sure that those variables are available inside this definition. So let's try. First one is the total car. Total car should be available because we are going to keep a track. So total car, I think we can do commas. Total car in, it doesn't matter because it's only a local variable. Remaining slots, of course, yes, remaining slots we use. And also total number of slots, of course, global, right? So total number of slots. Okay, now I think these variables are global variables are available inside this definition. So let's try to run this. Okay, 10 cars in, number of vehicles 22 as expected, and the remaining number of slots 28. So we are okay and good to go. So anyway, 22 plus 28 is going to be 50, right? Okay, now we can simply use this definition. So if a car entered, you can use the car entered function, and let's say 3 cars entered, and if we run this now, it's going to update 3 cars in, number of vehicles 25, remaining slots 25. So similarly, we might want to write a definition for car left as well, so it becomes more much more easy to understand, right? So let's try to make a definition for that as well. So car car left, let's say car left. Okay, and we say in cars to accept the parameters. So similarly, car out, right? So let's say we can use these statements, right? Any car outs you can use. So we can use these statements. Let's copy this thing. This is the beauty, because we can use the same logic. So out, maybe it's not 1 here because it's going to be n, because the user is going to define the number of cars in or out, so it's going to be n. So don't get confused, this n and this n, it's not valid inside here, because these are local variables and they are only valid inside respective function definition. So cars out equal, okay, cars out, so that's not going to be a problem. So total car count, we have to make them global, accessible, other things are fine, right? Okay, now if I run this is going to be no problem, because it's not going to access any variable. So but in case, because this is only the definition, if we want to really execute this, then there will be a error which is similar to the error we found earlier. So number of cars left, so let's say 2 cars left, and it's going to compile an error because the variables are inaccessible. So let's try to make them possible, global, and the global variables here we are using is total car, okay, and also remaining slots we are going to use that as well. Remaining slots, that's also fine. So total cars and number of slots also, it's a global variable, right? Okay, so as well as we can make total number of slots. Okay, now if I run this one not going to be a problem. So 2 cars out, so the value we had 25, now we have 23, and remaining slots is 27. So in this way we can use this program, but later on a later stage you can make sure that these data are valid, right? Because they don't overflow these number of slots, so the total number of cars does not run below 0. So those things you can do. So anyway, now we can basically clear and make this a little more easy to understand. So to do that, we can remove these things, and these are basically executions. So we have 2 function definitions. We can remove these things which we initially used to make sure that we are going to get the answers. So let's clear this. So okay, now we have 2 function definitions that are going to keep a track when a car entered or when a car left. So not bad, right? So now let's say we run this again. So number of nothing going to happen. Now it's really blank. So let's say car entered. How many cars entered? Let's say 23 cars entered. So when 23 cars entered, you get the result like this. Okay, now another car entered. So let's say 1. And if I run this now, it's going to be 26. There's no data validation, so we have to be careful on our end. So number of cars, let's say 5 cars left. So okay, let's run this. So in out you can see from the arrows, okay, and it's going to update the count as well. So in this way we managed to write a simple car park example. So I hope that you can also calculate the fare and number of times spent. So calculate fare method can be used. So you can keep on developing. So this is the basic example showing you how you can keep a track of the global variables and the normal variables that you use inside these kind of functions. So thank you very much guys for joining with the Python script YouTube channel.